Hi students, today is the topic heart. So heart is a conical muscular organ. It is covered by two layers of pericardium. So outer layer is fibrous pericardium and inner layer is serous pericardium. And this heart is located in the middle mediastinum. You have to see the anatomical position of the heart. So for anatomical position, you must know the chambers as well as apex and base of heart. So now this is the heart. So you have here as the apex of heart. Okay. So apex of heart is here, and whereas this one is the base of heart. So apex of heart should be resting over the root of thumb. Root of thumb. So this is thumb, where you have root is here. So apex of the heart should be resting over the root of thumb, and it should be placed towards your left side of the body. So this is the view. So now coming to the external features. So chambers of the heart. There are 4 chambers for heart. First chamber is the right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle and left atrium. So chambers over. So now between the chambers there will be a groove or sulci. So between the atrium and ventricle there will be atrioventricular groove or sulcus. Between the ventricles there will be an interventricular groove or sulcus. So now what are the sulcus present in between the chambers? This is right atrium, right ventricle. Between these two you have a groove or sulci called as atrioventricular groove or coronary sulcus. So this is between the right chambers. So this groove is called as right atrioventricular groove or coronary sulcus. And this groove is called as interventricular groove. Inter is known as in between the two ventricles, and it is located anteriorly. So this groove is called as anterior interventricular groove between right ventricle and left ventricle. So far 2 grooves over. One is right atrioventricular groove or coronary sulcus present between right atrium and right ventricle, and anterior interventricular groove present between right ventricle and left ventricle. So when I am turning the heart like this, okay, so this is a right atrioventricular groove, right? So it will be continuing towards the back. So to form a left atrioventricular groove, lies between left atrium and left ventricle. Left atrioventricular groove, which is also called as coronary sulcus. So now this is the inferior aspect of the ventricles. So between two ventricles like right ventricle and left ventricle, we have another groove is present, which is called as posterior interventricular groove. Interatrial groove lies between two atrias like right atrium and left atrium. Apex and base. I told you apex is here. So apex of heart is located here on the left side. So it is purely formed by left ventricle. Left ventricle is a chamber which is forming the apex of heart. Okay. So this will be coming in your MCQ. The apex of heart is formed only by left ventricle. So now where will be the apex of heart is located in our body? The apex of heart is located in left fifth intercostal space. 9 cm lateral to the midsternal line. So there you can find a apex of heart. Okay, it is formed only by left ventricle. Now apex over. So now I am turning the heart. Now coming to the base. So this will be the base. So base of heart is formed by left atrium. Mainly it is formed by left atrium, and partly it is formed by right atrium. Now let's start the borders of heart. So borders of heart, there are 4 borders for the heart. The borders are upper border or superior border, right border, inferior border, left border. So it is resembles like a square. So upper border or superior border, right border, inferior border and left border. Okay. So now what are the chambers providing contribution to each border? So first is the upper border or superior border. So I am turning the heart. So upper border or superior border, it is formed by both the atrias. Okay, right atrium and left atrium both will be forming the upper border or superior border. Then coming to right border. So right border is formed purely by right atrium. Right border, it is formed by right atrium. It extends from the opening of superior vena cava to the opening of inferior vena cava. Okay, this is superior vena cava and this is inferior vena cava opening. So between these two, a right border is extending. So now next is the inferior border. This is inferior border extending from opening of inferior vena cava to the apex. Opening of inferior vena cava to the apex. So inferior border is formed mainly by the 2/3 of right ventricle and 1/3 of left ventricle. Inferior border extending from IVC, that is inferior vena cava opening, till to the apex, and the contribution of inferior border is formed by 2/3 of right ventricle, 1/3 of left ventricle. Then next is left border. Left border is formed mainly by left ventricle and partly by left auricle. Auricle is nothing but a ear-like structure extending from left atrium. So left border is formed by mainly left ventricle and partly left auricle. Okay. Now next is the surfaces. So heart has 3 surfaces. So one is anterior or sternocostal surface, left surface, base or posterior surface. Then the heart will be resting on the central tendon of diaphragm. So the resting portion is called as diaphragmatic surface or inferior surface. I will repeat, anterior or sternocostal surface. Why? Because this portion will be immediately lying behind the sternum. So anterior or sternocostal surface, left surface, then base or posterior surface, inferior or diaphragmatic surface. Why? Because it is resting on the central tendon of diaphragm. Assume my palm is like a diaphragm. So now, what are the contributions from chambers to form a surfaces? So anterior or sternocostal surface is formed by following chambers. It is formed by right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle and left auricle. So all will be forming anteriorly. So anterior surface or sternocostal surface is formed by right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle and a part of left auricle. So anterior or sternocostal surface O. Next is left surface. Left surface and left border both are same. It is formed by left ventricle as well as left auricle. So left surface is formed by left ventricle and left auricle. Then for base you already know it is formed by both the atrias. So here base is also called as posterior surface. So ultimately posterior surface is formed mainly by left atrium and partly by right atrium. Then next is inferior surface or diaphragmatic surface. So this surface It is formed by 2/3 of left ventricle and 1/3 of right ventricle. See this the position, 2/3 of left ventricle and 1/3 of right ventricle, called as diaphragmatic surface or inferior surface. The incoming channels and outgoing channels of the heart. What are the channels which are entering inside the heart and going outside the heart? So now if you are taking the right atrium, okay, the incoming channels are two channels. One is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Those two are incoming channels which carry the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Then from the right atrium, blood traverses into the right ventricle through atrioventricular orifice or tricuspid orifice. So now blood is here inside the right ventricle. So from the right ventricle, the blood is taken up by the pulmonary trunk. This is pulmonary trunk. So this pulmonary trunk will be dividing into two. See this one, left side and right side. Right pulmonary artery, left pulmonary artery. So each one will go to the corresponding lung for the purification of blood. So now once inside the lung the purification is over, that purified blood is taken by the pulmonary veins. So those pulmonary veins are here which are coming and opening inside the left atrium. So pulmonary veins are 4 in number, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Of 4 pulmonary veins is the key to identify the left atrium. Then from the left atrium, blood is transmitted into the left ventricle through bicuspid orifice or left atrioventricular orifice. Now blood is in left ventricle. So from the left ventricle, the blood is taken up by the aorta. Okay, from here the aorta will be taking up the blood to transport it into the entire part of the body. So now this is aorta. So parts of aorta: ascending aorta, arch of aorta, descending thoracic aorta. Ascending aorta, arch of aorta, descending thoracic aorta. So through this branches, the blood will be circulating throughout the body. So now arch of aorta is giving 3 branches. Okay, so right side 1 and left side 2. So right side 1 branch which is called as brachiocephalic trunk, and left side the middle one is called as left common carotid artery, and this one left side one is called as left subclavian artery. So left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery, both are direct branches from arch of aorta. Here for right side only one is there, which is called as brachiocephalic trunk. This brachiocephalic trunk, then it is giving into 2 branches: right subclavian artery, right common carotid artery. So brachiocephalic trunk will be giving right common carotid artery and right subclavian artery. Arch of aorta directly giving to the left side 2 branches: left common carotid artery and left subclavian artery. So now next is the right atrium. Okay, right atrium, both external features as well as internal features. So right atrium is the right upper chamber of the heart. Right atrium is the right upper chamber of the heart. It receives superior vena cava at the upper end and inferior vena cava at the lower end. So through this the venous blood will be entering into the right atrium. Then this right atrium is forming sternocostal surface, right border, base, then upper border. Contributions of right atrium are: right right atrium is forming sternocostal surface or anterior surface, right border, then base, then upper border. Right atrium is prolonged towards the left side to form a ear-like structure which is called as right auricle. Okay. Then between the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava there will be a shallow depression is present which is called as sulcus terminalis. We have cut a right atrium along the sulcus terminalis only. So there is a shallow depression or a groove or a sulcus which is extending between superior vena cava to the inferior vena cava is called as sulcus terminalis. So now we have to made a cut over the sulcus terminalis to see the internal features of right atrium. Internal features of right atrium. Okay. So for external features you have to say right atrium is the right upper chamber of the heart. It is giving contributions to 4 things. Then you have to say about right auricle, then sulcus terminalis. So once I made a cut over the sulcus terminalis, you can see the internal features of right atrium. So now let's start the internal features of right atrium. So now internal features of right atrium is divided into 2 parts. Okay. So anterior rough part, which is also called as pectinate part. See how rough it is, anterior part or pectinate part. Then if you are seeing posteriorly, it is a smooth part. So rough anterior part or pectinate part, smooth posterior part or sinus venarum. Okay. So now coming to the rough anterior part. So why the anterior part is rough? It has a series of transversely arranged muscular ridges. So that's why it appears to be rough in nature. They are giving an appearance of teeth of the combs. So this muscle is called as musculi pectinati. Musculi pectinati. So this musculi pectinati, where it is coming from? Of right atrium. Sulcus terminalis is extending between superior vena cava to the inferior vena cava. Same when you cut and see internally indicates crista terminalis. Sulcus terminalis when you see internally, that is called as crista terminalis. So this one is crista terminalis. So from crista terminalis the muscles originated and running towards the atrioventricular orifice. Embryologically, from where this anterior part or musculus pectinati part is deriving from? This anterior rough part or pectinate part is derived from primitive atrial chamber. Primitive atrial chamber. Then next we move on to the posterior smooth part. Posterior smooth part, this appears to be smooth in nature. So this posterior smooth part is receiving superior vena cava at the upper end and inferior vena cava at the lower end. Okay. So superior vena cava, it doesn't have any valves. Okay. But the inferior vena cava is guarded by a valve called as eustachian valve. Eustachian valve. Then other features of smooth posterior part is opening of coronary sinus. It lies between the inferior vena cava opening and the right atrioventricular orifice, and it is guarded by a valve called as valve of coronary sinus. The smooth posterior part is derived from right horn of sinus venosus. Right horn of sinus venosus. Then so anterior rough part over and posterior smooth part over. Then next is interatrial septum, which means the septum present between right atrium and the left atrium is called as interatrial septum. So septum is here interatrial septum. Interatrial septum is here. So in this interatrial septum we have two important features. There is a thumb shaped depression. There is a thumb shaped depression is present, which is called as fossa ovalis. Fossa ovalis. So embryologically it is developed from septum primum. Thumb shaped depression which is present in the interatrial septum, which is embryologically developed from septum primum. Then this thumb shaped depression is having a margin called as annulus ovalis or limbus fossa ovalis. Annulus ovalis or limbus fossa ovalis. So this is embryologically derived from septum secundum. Septum secundum. So fossa ovalis is developed from septum primum and annulus ovalis or limbus fossa ovalis is developed from septum secundum. See, this is the another heart to show you the fossa ovalis, right atrium opening. Okay. So see this one, the thumb shaped depression. This is called as fossa ovalis. Fossa ovalis, and margins of fossa ovalis is called as limbus fossa ovalis. An opening of coronary sinus is here. Opening of coronary sinus. And you have here as a atrioventricular orifice or tricuspid orifice. This one. Through this, right atrial blood is entering into the right ventricle. Then this is the right ventricular chamber, opened part of right ventricle, and this is the cut portion of left ventricle. See the musculature of right ventricle. It is very thinner musculature when you compare to left ventricle. So left ventricle has a very thick musculature because this chamber has to contract hardly to pump the blood to the entire parts of the body. So musculature will be very much thicker when compared to right ventricle. Of the heart. So blood supply of heart, it is supplied by right coronary artery and left coronary artery. So see this one, ascending aorta. This is the ascending aorta. So from the ascending aorta we have two branches, right coronary artery and left coronary artery. So right atrioventricular groove, which is occupied by right coronary artery, which is accompanied by small cardiac vein. Okay, and left coronary artery, which is having a branch called as anterior interventricular artery, that is occupying anterior interventricular groove. Anterior interventricular groove, it is occupied by anterior interventricular branch of left coronary artery. Then I am turning here. Here is the posterior interventricular groove, which is occupying posterior interventricular artery, which is a branch from right coronary artery. Okay. So this anterior interventricular artery, which accompanies great cardiac vein, and this posterior interventricular artery, which is occupying posterior interventricular groove, it accompanies a vein called as middle cardiac vein. So atrioventricular groove, right atrioventricular groove occupies right coronary artery, it accompanies small cardiac vein. Anterior interventricular groove occupies anterior interventricular artery, which is a branch of left coronary artery, it accompanies great cardiac vein. And this is posterior interventricular groove, which contains posterior interventricular artery, which is a branch from right coronary artery. It accompanies middle cardiac vein. So this is the blood supply of heart.